Hey people, welcome to the Run Testers. It's Kieran here, and I am out to do a solo marathon test in a shoe that has already proved pretty popular. It's got a lot of plaudits. We've already reviewed it, but I'm going to give it a bigger test. I'm going to take the ASICS Megablast over the marathon distance, a solo marathon around West London here, to find out just how much marathon potential this shoe has got. I will be mixing the paces from marathon pace to slower and easier, just to check how it is when you're feeling good and when you're feeling leggy. And yeah, we'll go. It's a beautiful bright day. The rain came this morning but has disappeared, so we should have a good one around West London here, so let's go get into it. So I've just come up to the 19-mile mark, been on feet for just 3 hours and 10 minutes. And I have to be honest, most of that has been at an easier pace. I started out a bit faster in the Megblast, but very tired after Dublin. So a lot of that has been at what I would call my raggedy ass pace, which is what I'm moving at now. This would be sort of struggling at home at the end of a marathon rather than romping at home.
Lap 20, 12 minutes.
I have to say, for the bits where I moved well, this shoe, in the review I mentioned, I think it's got a marathon pace sweet spot. I still think that's true. It moves so well when you're moving around marathon pace or just below. It's like that really sort of happy, cruisy vibe. It comes to life. There's a big bit of bouncy energy that's going to drive you along and give back what you put in. And just
lap 19, 12:08.
Kind of smoothness and an energy which is really, really welcome. When I get to this kind of slower pace, it kind of divides me a bit. There are two things that happen for me. One is that I feel the cushion more, the sinkiness more, when I'm moving a bit heavier, a bit further back on my feet, a bit slower. And it just takes a little bit more to get out of the shoe into my kind of next stride to get that foot off the ground again. That's something I'm not 100% keen on. But the flip side to that is with that extra cushion and that extra kind of protection that you're getting from the road, it's sort of really pleasant. It can look after you when you're moving like this. And really you're sort of heavy, and what you need is something to take the edge off the road and stop that impact from really sort of sending too much up the knees and too much strain through the body, or, you know, it just cocoons the feet really nicely. And that's what I think the Megablast can do as well. I think when I'm moving slower, I just want a shoe with a touch more immediacy though. So I'm not feeling like I'm having to dig myself out, and I just get a bit of the diggy with the Megablast. That might be different from some runners. I think it might change depending on how you land on the shoe. But right now I'll take it because I'm tired, my feet are tired, I've still got 7 miles to go and I'm not moving very well, and they're just in the background doing their thing, sort of helping me along, making sure that I've got no foot fatigue and everything down there kind of feels okay. So I think the Megablast, you know, has got quite a lot of merit here as a marathon shoe, that if you're looking for a non-plated marathon race shoe and you're going to be moving for 3.5 hours, 4 hours, 4.5 hours, you might be able to put in some faster times, and then there's a chance you're going to drop to something slower and a bit more struggle busty like I am now. This shoe will do a job for you. It will look after you really nicely. And I wanted to see that. I wanted to feel what it was going to be like into the last 6 or 7 miles. So it'll be interesting just to see now, does that carry on? Because it's been nicely consistent throughout. Is that the same when I'm, 2 miles to go and I really need something, or is it going to get heavy and a bit sloppy and a bit kind of less useful? We're going to go and find out. So then the marathon test in the Megablast is done. It took me around about 4.5 hours in total with a few stops. I stopped to pick up my son for the last 3 miles. He wasn't ready, so I had to sit for a bit. So it took a bit longer, but having the company was very welcome for those last 3 miles because it was a bit of a struggle. But yeah, what can I say about the shoes? Absolutely, as I thought these would play out. They are really cushioned, really protective. They're light enough. They are sort of bouncy enough, energetic enough, I think, to handle the 26.2 really well. They coped really well, give or take, across the kind of range of paces. I would say they really perform when you're moving at that kind of marathon pace sweet spot. They're a bit sinky and a bit kind of mushy for me when I'm moving much slower, much heavier, but it's kind of almost worth having the trade-off a little bit because you're getting the protection coming back from the midsole. That's really doing a great job of cradling the bottom of your foot and keeping everything nice and cushioned and comfortable, fighting all that foot fatigue. And yeah, like the last 6 miles I was sort of wobbling around here, and they were great just for, you know, keeping my feet happy, basically stopping the road feeling like it's battering up through. And I think if I was able to run at sort of marathon pace in these shoes, or near marathon pace, I think they would actually do a good job over the 26.2 as well. Obviously not going to be as lively and energetic and all out as some of the carbon race shoes we've got, but I think if I was wondering how a marathon might go, whether or not I was going to be able to last it, or if I just wanted to get round with some energy but a good amount of comfort, I think these shoes can definitely do a job. And what's really interesting about the Megablast after that test then is really just the overall versatility of a shoe. They are higher priced, but this is a shoe I think you could definitely train and race a marathon in. You know, it gives you sort of good versatility for your training block, and then if you wanted to race in it and have some kind of guarantee of comfort over the distance, I think they would do that as well. You're probably not going to get those sort of big percentage gains that you're going to get from putting on a Puma Fast R3 or like an ASICS Metaspeed Edge or Sky, those kind of shoes. But for most of us, those percentages are probably sort of still quite small. And if you want something that's going to look after you and you know you can trust, it's got a reliable sort of feel to it, then I think the Megablast over the marathon distance could be a really, really good shoe for quite a lot of runners out there. It's done very well today, and I'm more impressed by it having done the 26.2 than I was pretty much when I did the review, where overall I was sort of a bit down on it because it was a little bit soggy at the slower paces, but it did a good job for me today out there in terms of protecting me, so it's a big thumbs up from me there. So you have it, that's been my marathon test of the ASICS Megablast. That one was a bit of a dig, had to work hard to do it, but it is done. Another solo marathon around London clocked. I'm going to try and do a few more of these before the end of the year is out. Let me know if there's a shoe that you would really like me to see marathon test out there, if there's one that you're not sure about, particularly if it's a shoe that isn't a carbon racer and you're thinking, can I gamble it in the do the marathon in this shoe? Will it hold up okay, even though maybe it's not one of those out and out punchy shoes a lot of people will have already run marathons in? Yeah, just let us know in the comments. But hope you found that interesting, enjoyable, useful, all of those things. And yeah, give us a comment below if you have any questions about the shoe. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all of that kind of stuff. And until next time, happy running, people.